Most of us will forgive a favoured brand, show or celebrity for the odd misstep. I'm sure you wouldn't stop flying with Virgin if they delayed your suitcase on one flight. But if the minimum standards of keeping their planes in the air suddenly dropped, that's a different story, right? It's the same with your channel. Like us, you no doubt have a full-time job, and you're also wanting to put out 3 videos a week. Here are the things you must not compromise on. None of these tips are about the tech, so it doesn't matter if you're filming on a smartphone or an Arri Alexa. That's an in-joke. If you're shooting on an Arri Alexa, you've probably got production quality covered. Number 1, quality sound. This is the most important, so it's number 1. And it's just the easiest thing to sort. People will tolerate terrible images for way longer than they will tolerate terrible sound, even if the information is useful. Get the mic close. It doesn't matter if you're recording sound on a separate iPhone or high-end shotgun mic. Getting the mic as close as possible without getting in shot will make your sound crisp and clear. Get the mic close. Shooting on a lav mic clipped to your shirt, no problem, I'm doing it now. For some audiences, but for others it's a distraction. Plus it's another thing to entangle you and slow down a bat shoot. If you want to get productive, get a quality shotgun mic like the Rode NG2 and get it overhead and just out of frame in front of your face with a C-stand and boom arm. This is a boom arm. For connecting pro kit like a shotgun with an XLR plug to your phone or tablet, use an iRig preamp to record straight into your device. Number 2, quality script. Why is this the minimum standard? Surely production is all about lights and good camera and using a gimbal or whatever the latest gadget is if you're watching this in 2029. A script isn't always recorded word for word using a teleprompter. It could just be a set of bullet points, but it needs to have the structure we talked about in an earlier video, or maybe you're ready to go to free-flowing chats with the camera with whatever comes into your head. You'll still need to have done a script of some sort to stop that chat becoming a pointless ramble. Know your audience, do that research, set out clear chunks of information or even chapters to work through, make sure that the beginning and ending are both entertaining and connected in some way, and then, and only then, shoot. 3, color temperature. Off skin tones is a surefire way to look amateur. Your audience won't be able to put their finger on what is wrong, but you'll likely look like an old home movie to them. Assuming you've got a basic lighting setup, understanding light temperature can be the difference between a queasy looking green, yellow, or a tomato red skin tone. Color temperature on your camera will range from a yellow fluorescent bulb at 3200K to daylight from an open window at 5600. Having the camera shooting at 3200 while using daylight on a variable light panel set at 5600 will make the skin tones look really odd and distracting. The simplest thing to do if color temperature is baffling to you is to set everything to daylight or 5600K. Number 4, quality framing. Don't fall on this hurdle, it is by far the easiest to fix. I'm sure you're familiar with the rule of thirds, and for talking down the barrel in the middle of the scene, it may not seem to apply, but it does. Your eyes should be close to or on the top third, regardless of how close or wide the frame is. You can keep your profile center of frame, but feel free to break this rule and go to the thirds on either side for variety, or sometimes just to add text or inserts in the space. Leave a little headroom, that is the space between the top of frame and the top of your head, and keep the camera just above your eye line so your audience isn't looking up your nose. Not a great look. Also, you can break this rule cropping your head for closer shots when making a point, but unless you're as cool as Jack Black on his Jablinski channel, avoid the dad framing of cropping out everything except your forehead and your chin. It's just too in your face. And finally, clean up your frame in the background. I mean, you definitely don't want to be doing this. Number 5, quality editing. There's no quick fix on this one. Developing your own style and sense of pace is an ongoing journey. There I use the word journey. But there are some basics you should adopt immediately. 1, dead air. Those moments when nothing is happening in the audio. Used well, dead air can seem like a playful, awkward beat at the end of a deadpan line. But not here. For the most part, dead air is just lazy editing where the cuts have not been made close enough to the beginning or end of a stretch of dialogue. Cut out that dead air, including those long gulps of air you're sucking in before the start of a take. On the flip side of cutting out dead air, you'll need some visual breathing room in order for your videos not to become just this one breathless ramble of jump cuts. Get some inserts in there, B-roll, chaptering, text, and frame size changes. If you want more details on production basics, then watch this playlist here, or maybe just subscribe to us. Why not? It's not hard to do. Make our day. Go on, I know you want to. Why haven't you subscribed? What's wrong with us? Are we weird?